Hey everybody, it's Craig again. It's another edition of Unbreakable podcast. It's Wednesday, November the 26th. And listen to this. Let's just start off our song of the day. So, Tina Turner. Why am I playing Tina Turner? It's her birthday. Happy heavenly birthday, Tina Turner. She was born in 1939. She would have been, I suck at that. 86. She would have been 86 then. She died 2 years ago. Listen to this. What? Did you what's love but a second hand emotion? This song won Record of the Year in 1984. That was a big comeback year for Tina Turner. She had a great album out called Private Dancer. Remember that album? It's one of the great albums of the 80s. If you love the 80s and you love 80s music, you gotta listen to Private Dancer by Tina Turner because all the songs in that album sound very 80ish, with the synthesizers and stuff. And a lot of great songs there. You better be good to me, Private Dancer. Okay, let's do it. Oh, what's love? Ow, what's love? Can't have a bullshit. I love Tina Turner. She was right. She had like the greatest legs in show business. She had shorted her legs like for like $1 million someplace in England. She sold anywhere over 100 million and 150 million records all around the world. And she was one of these international superstars. People knew her everywhere, all the countries, France, Italy, Switzerland, where she ended up living in Switzerland. And she was a world-known artist. So not just America, people loved her everywhere. Listen. And she was also voted by Rolling Stone magazine, Billboard, as one of the greatest singers in history. She was the first female artist to appear on the cover of the Rolling Stone and the first Black artist to appear on the cover of the Rolling Stone. Got to do with it. Ow. Ow. She's one of those people you don't really appreciate it until she's gone. I would much love, nothing against Aretha Franklin, but I'd much rather go to a Tina Turner concert or listen to Tina Turner on radio or on CD or whatever than Aretha Franklin. To me, Aretha Franklin, she had a great voice, but she tended to yell a lot. Whereas Tina Turner, she sang the song. And we all know about her abusive, bad relationship with that snake, Ike Turner, former husband of You know what? She came back, big comeback in the 80s, as one of these icons, became an icon in our world. And so she was just one of the larger than life people who I was lucky to live through, when I was back young man. But yeah, just the music. You had Madonna and Whitney Houston. But what a great decade that the 80s was. If you didn't live it, oh man, you missed that. For music, nothing but. So happy heavenly birthday, Tina Turner. Anyway, we got a lot to talk about today because we got Thanksgiving is tomorrow. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. People are traveling today. Some people are traveling yesterday to get to their destination. So maybe you're listening to me from grandma's house Hello, Grandma. And you know, we got stuff to talk about. So let's do it. Let's do it. We gotta talk about the Eagles. They have a big game on Friday against the Chicago Bears. And big game. I'm gonna give you my prediction and all kinds of stuff. All right. So we talked about Tina Turner. Oh, did you see the Dancing with the Stars finale last night? That Robert Irwin won with his partner. Now here's the thing: the Crocodile Hunter's son, and I knew he was going to win because he's a likable guy. He's a very likable guy. You know, I wish he lived on this continent instead of down in Australia because he's very positive. He's got a positive message. He's very likable. He's a young guy. And he's not all tattooed up and all drinking and drugs and all that other shit. You know, he's a very likable young man. So very positive. So I knew he was going to win. If I would have been able to put money on, I would have because he's popular. And part of that vote, I don't know, stars would come away. But it's popularity too. It's not only how well you dance. You can't get out on the ballroom and have two left feet, but it's popularity too. And a lot of people like him. And he's with this partner. They made a great couple, didn't they? And you think maybe they'll get together, maybe they're kind of like fall in love. They're training together 3 months, they're with each other every day. You know how things happen. I didn't know until recently that she's actually married and she has kids. What war? What war? So cranky, cranky. So that's not going because they were on Good Morning America. They won last night, took their ballroom trophy or whatever the hell you call it, the Stanley Cup or what is it? What is I don't know. And they took it and they flew across the country and they were in New York this morning. Good morning. So uh she made it clear. She said it was an exciting time. The girl Robert Irwin dancer. And I was happy that my kids and my husband celebrated with us. Right there. But it could be some hanky panky on the side. We don't know. We don't know. It is sad though, isn't it? He's going to go back to Australia, where he's like his father, who I loved, Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter, like ran the zoo down there, the Australia Zoo. He ran like the whole thing. His wife, then he had his daughter, Mindy, and then little Rob. And so of course Crocodile Hunter died a few years ago, and now the other family went to see. So he'll go back. And see, the thing is, in Australia, they're just starting summertime there. They're just getting the good weather. Whereas us up here in North America, we're getting the crap now. Cold, snow, sleet. We're getting it. We're getting it. And we're starting to get it soon. He's going to go back home this summertime. So perfect time. Yeah. But anyway, it's kind of sad. He's going to go home alone. Well, with his family, but you never know. Hey, funny things happen in life, right? You never know. I'm not wishing the people anything bad, but I'm just saying, maybe they'll hook up sometime down there. You just don't know. But all right, well, congratulations to them. They won. I know nothing about it, but what else is happening? Oh, yeah, I gotta read you this. Thanksgiving is tomorrow. And about Thanksgiving, Abraham Lincoln was the guy, I call him a guy, he's the president, call him a guy, like he's some guy at the bar or something, he's a guy. But the guy, I can't get that out of my mind. The guy there I go again, who proclaimed Thanksgiving an official holiday in 1863. back when I was just a toddler. And but it goes way back. You heard about like the Pilgrims and the Indians. They celebrated the first Thanksgiving, supposedly. And it goes way back. It goes way back. But so I'm a turkey guy. I like it. I'm a dark guy. I'll tell you that right there. So tomorrow I might partake of this. Couple, where I hear things behind me. Is the house haunted? I don't know. Maybe tomorrow I'm gonna have the drumstick. I think so. I think so. And I like Thanksgiving dinner. It's right up there with barbecue. Summer barbecues. You can't beat it. Hamburgers, hot dog, water cob, macaroni salad, blah, blah, blah. But Thanksgiving dinner is one of my favorites too. Because you got your turkey, you got your cranberry sauce, you got your, and I was never a green bean guy. Never a green bean guy. And like casseroles, they could stick that. I don't want casseroles. A roll or nice buttered roll is good. Pumpkin pie, apple pie, right? There's a lot to love about Thanksgiving, especially with food. And then, of course, what is Thanksgiving for? It's to give thanks to God for all the blessings you have all during the year and through your life. And that's what we should do. My mom, she was a saint. She would go to church on Thanksgiving, which I think we should all do. Everybody out there, go to church. Before you sit down and eat, go to church. She'd go to church. But you know what we would do when I was kids? We always had high school football games in the morning. Do you still have high school football games where you live? And you go to the high school football game in the morning, and usually your team, like lots of teams, Phoenix Hill, we would play Great Valley on Thanksgiving Day. And then later on, we would play Springfield. Not that we care, you probably like, who cares? I don't know. But that's 10 o'clock football game. You're home by noon. You got the turkey. You open the door, you smell it. The turkey's wafting. The aroma's wafting through the house. And you sit down till 30. You got some football on, which is becoming as much of a tradition on Thanksgiving as a parade or anything else. You sit down, you watch the Lions, who used to suck. Now they're pretty good. Then you got the stinky Cowboys on later on in the day. And then you have a night game, Thursday night game for Thanksgiving. Now we have a Black Friday game, which actually that's the Eagles game. So it just keeps going on and on. So before I read this to you, parades. Oldest Thanksgiving parade in the country, Philadelphia, used to be known as the Gimbals. Gimbals was a department store. Gimbals Thanksgiving Day parade. And then, of course, you have your Macy's parade in New York, which still goes on. And you remember that old movie. And watch this movie sometime during the Christmas season. Miracle on 34th Street. Now, that's one of my favorite Christmas movies. And the guy who played Santa Claus, Edmund Quinn, won an Oscar for that. And so still a great movie. Family friendly, just a fun movie. Guy who thinks he's Santa Claus, basically. So, but that opening scene, do you remember the opening scene where the little girl is watching the Thanksgiving Day parade from atop her, they have an apartment there, and the parade goes right past the apartment, and she's looking down, and then her mother happens to works for Macy's and happens to coordinate the Thanksgiving Day parade. That was the beautiful Maureen O'Hara, tall, redhead, green eyes, one of the most beautiful actresses I've ever seen in my whole freaking life. Well, what I want you to know about this is that that whole scene, when you watch Miracle on 34th Street again, was done, had to be done in one take because that parade was actually going on. The year before that movie came out, they filmed it at the actual parade. So when you see Maureen O'Hara standing there, she didn't really like coordinate the parade. She's an actress, come on. But that's the real parade going on. And when you see the floats, like Mickey Mouse and blah, 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 and the floats going by, the balloons and everything, and the little girl who happened to be Natalie Wood looking down at the parade, that's the actual parade. And so they had to get those scenes in one take because you can't start the parade again, right? You can't redo it. So all these actors had to know the lines. They had to be right in order for it to. Anyway, it was a great movie. Great movie. Miracle on 34th Street. All right, so and as the Christmas season goes on, we'll be talking about great Christmas movies. And what else do we talk? I gotta read you this little thing about stuffing. Now, here's the thing. I told you I'm a turkey guy, dark meat, drumstick kind of guy. I like some olive, cranberry sauce. It's a traditional Thanksgiving meat. But I can't stand the mashed potatoes. I know you're probably out there saying, "Who doesn't like mashed potatoes?" I get that all the time. And I'm not a green bean guy. So, I gotta take what I can. Sometimes you got this big plate on Thanksgiving, all the fancy schmancy china, hoity-toity silverware, and you only have like turkey and maybe a couple olives, and it looks kind of bare. And people are still trying to go, take some mashed potatoes, pass them down to green beans. How about the corn? How about the corn? I'm like, no, 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 no. I'm happy with this. I'm happy with it. Okay. So anyway, but the one thing that I do like is stuffing. Now it's got to be the right kind of stovetop and stuff. It's got to be the right stuffing because stuffing can be different. People make it different. They put different stuff in it. But it is good. It's a good side stuffing. And I've learned over the years, you don't have to just have stuffing with turkey. You can have it with chicken. Yeah, stuffing is a good side any time of the year. It doesn't have to be Thanksgiving, Christmas. So it was National Stuffing Day the other day. And these are a few facts about stuffing that I think is going to make your Thanksgiving. So here, the first known documented stuffing recipes appeared in the Roman cookbook Dira Caguida. Yeah, I don't know. All I know is it sounds like stuffing started back in the Roman days. Okay, so that's good. Old recipes of stuffing included vegetables, herbs and spices, nuts, and an old cereal called spelt, whatever, chopped liver, and other organ meat. Ew, organ from poultry and fish. So you mean to tell me they put the organs in there too? They put like the kidneys and I don't want to hear that. Anyway, what else here? Well, isn't this interesting? I'm glad I found this. Stuffing and dressing are not the same. Now, this is a good thing for you to know. When you're sitting at the Thanksgiving table tomorrow, and your Uncle John is down the table there talking about his colonoscopy. You see that commercial on TV? They're playing now. That does happen at Thanksgiving Day tables. You hear all the conversation around you because you have all the relatives there. And like the uncles are over there talking about his hemorrhoids. And that guy over there is talking about his ingrown toe. And that lady over there is bitching because she can't find a bra that fits. I'm just saying. So this is good to know because if you go to a bar Thanksgiving night or whatever, you could have a bar bet with somebody and say, do you know stuffing and dressing are not the same? Stuffing is stuffed into other food. I guess that's why they call it stuffing, huh? While dressing is normally cooked in a pan. Well, there you go. Huh? Huh? And here I thought dressing was the act of like putting your clothes on. Well, what do I know? So anyway, so that's the difference. And the final, thank God, the final fact about stuffing, Southern recipes for stuffing always include cornbread, while white bread is common in almost every other part of the U.S. So there you go. So we got your southern states there, your Alabama, your Florida, your Georgia, your Mississippi, whatever, Tennessee. Do I have to go down the whole freaking list? And the whole thing, yeah. And they're probably tomorrow, they're probably having porridge. Yeah, is their stuffing. Whereas you and I, if we live in the northern states out west, we probably have a white bread stuffing. So isn't that interesting? How? Not really. Not really. I'm kind of sorry you did that. But anyway, okay. All right, let's talk a little Eagles before we get too far. Okay. So the Eagles play Friday. They're playing the Black Friday game against the Bears. Now, they're both 8-3. The Eagles will be wearing all black on Friday. Black helmets, black jerseys, black pants, black cleats. All black. It's going to be a blackout. In fact, they're asking the fans to come in black. If you have your Eagles black jersey or a black jacket, wear black. It's going to be a blackout. Okay. So, Eagles are favored by like 7 points or something. I think it's going to be a close game. I think the Eagles are definitely going to win because they're a little pissed off about what happened in Dallas, Sunday, which I don't want to talk about. But, the Eagles are pissed. They're going to come in. Eagles, let's face it, Eagles don't lose that many home games. Jalen Hurts doesn't lose that many home games. The Bears are 8-3, but they're sort of a lucky 8-3. They've beaten some teams that like the Sisters or the Poor could beat. And then not that they're not good because they are. Not that they won't give the Eagles a tough game because they probably will. But Bears don't scare me. Just don't scare me. The quarterback, Caleb Williams, he's a good scrambler. The Eagles are going to have to keep him in the pocket. But the Bears are missing a lot of their secondary, 2 linebackers, starting linebacker. The Eagles should be able to throw the ball on this team. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, I know he's bagged up, but Dallas Goedert, where are you? You hardly got the call on Sunday. They should all have pretty good games. The other thing is, it's supposed to be wicked winds at the lake on Friday. We know if you've ever been to South Philly, to a Phillies game, an Eagles game, it gets pretty windy down there anytime. But Friday, after this cold front comes through tonight, like today here in Pennsylvania, it's going to get up near 70 degrees, believe me. I'm going to go out there later and get a suntan. But overnight, it's going to chill off, get windy and cold, and it's supposed to stay that way. The peak of the winds are actually going to occur on Friday. So it will make kicking, punting, field goals, extra points a challenge. It'll make throwing the ball a challenge. Unless Jalen Hurts does this dinky stuff. 5 yards, A.J. Brown, let A.J. Brown run the rest the other 80 yards, right? Screen passes to Saquon Barkley. Dallas Goedert again. use Dallas Goedert. He's a good tight end catching guy. Use him, use him. So I think maybe we'll get a lot of that short yardage stuff. You know, my feeling is the line is 44 and a half. I would go lower because I'm looking at like maybe a 23-20 game Eagles win, 23-13 Eagles win. If you add all that up, it's less than 40, 44, right? I'm thinking with the wins, it's going to be under. So that's my play. That's my probability. Eagles, Bears, under. But I think all those guys could have a good game. I think the Eagles definitely win the game. I can't see Chicago coming in and beating the Eagles on Friday. I just can't see it. It could happen, but I think so. So anyway, but the Eagles have to get pressure on Caleb Williams. They got to contain him though, because he can scramble. So they have got to contain him. The Bears, DeAndre Swift, ex-Eagle, he's a good running back. The Bears have a pretty good passing attack. So, but that being said, I still think the Eagles are going to win. Low scoring game, hold the Bears to maybe like 13 points, a couple of field goals. Field goals can be a challenge. Remember a couple weeks ago, very windy at the lake. I thought take the under in field goals. Who's going to be able to kick a field goal? You can't do it. Jake Elliott tried to kick in practice before the game, 50-yard field goals. The ball was off to the side, into the crowd. Yeah. But here's the thing. And here's what happened when the Eagles played at home last time when it was really windy. You could kick, hello, Coco. You could kick short field goals. Let's say the Eagles get the ball down to the 5-yard line, the drive stalls. They have to kick a field goal. All right, Jake Elliott's he's gonna nail that 25-yard field goal. He's gonna do it. He's gonna cut through the wind, and he's gonna do it. That's how you're gonna get those two field goals. But the long field goals, you're not gonna get. You're not gonna get. So if you can find something in like field goals over 40 or over 50, I would go under because you're not going to be able to do it. You're not going to be able to kick for it. So, anyway, and like I said, Thanksgiving is great football, right? So you got your Lions and Packers at 12. That actually should be a good game because the Lions, usually they're tough in there. They eked out a win last Sunday against the Giants. I think the Lions were looking ahead to the Packers tomorrow. Packers, they need to get their asses in gear. It's a big game in the NFC tomorrow, Earl. And then you got the Chiefs, who need to win like every game, or else they're going to be out of the playoffs, playing the stinky, rotten Cowboys in Dallas. They're annual game. And I like the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs need to win. Patrick Mahomes, I would never bet against him on Thanksgiving. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. It's, speaking of which, the Eagles, I don't know if you noticed that. This is another thing you can talk about at the Thanksgiving Day table. The Eagles have played, in their history, they have played 7 times on Thanksgiving. What do you think their record is on Thanksgiving Day? Let's have your answer. The answer is, what is 6-1, Alex? You're right. We're 100 6-1. The Eagles are 6-1 on Thanksgiving Day. In fact, they have a 6-game winning streak on Thanksgiving. So you could say, tell Uncle Charlie over there, who's across the table, fiddling with his drumstick and talking about his hemorrhoids, you could say, Uncle Charlie, do you happen to know what the Eagles' record is on Thanksgiving? And he'll be like, the Eagles are playing later today? No, Uncle Charlie, no. What is their record on Thanksgiving? The Eagles are playing later? No, Uncle Charlie, no. And it goes on and on. They're 6-1 on Thanksgiving. So who knows when we'll play on Thanksgiving again, right? And then you got your night game. Your night game is Cincinnati, and Joe Burrow is probably going to play tomorrow night. Joe freaking Burrow against Baltimore, in Baltimore. That's going to be a cold, windy game too. So chances are I might look to the under there too. Especially because Baltimore, I picked them to go to the Super Bowl. And anyway, still, because their record now is 6-5 and tied with Pittsburgh. They've won 5 games in a row after starting the season 1-5. But this Lamar Jackson, it just doesn't look the same. I think he's still hurt. But they still can go to the Super Bowl where they're going to play our Eagles. Even though the Rams, everybody's saying Rams. Yeah, they're playing Rams. But I told you, let the Rams come to Philadelphia in January and see how they'll freeze their asses off in January. And that's the thing. The Eagles have to get home field advantage. It's an advantage. Not that the Eagles can't win in California in January, but it would be so much better if you had the Rams come into Philadelphia. So you got Cincinnati and Baltimore at night. So it's a whole day of freaking football. And then you got a whole day of freaking football on Friday. You got college football. Right, it's rivalry weekend. You got your Ohio State and Michigan. You got your Ole Miss, Mississippi. You got your Alabama and Auburn. So, it's and you got your Black Friday game, Saturday games. You got a card on Sunday. You got Monday. You know what? No wonder. It's too much, and I love football. No wonder there are what they call football widows or what. And no wonder these women are leaving husbands. Because it's a football. That's all you're getting. All right. Well, anyway, now that I worked myself up. And finally, the other thing I love about Thanksgiving are the leftovers. You'll probably be eating leftovers until it comes out of your ears. Into next week and beyond. So, but I do leftovers. The stuffing, you reheat it, the corn. You still have some pie left over. You put a little whipped cream on top. You got your turkey that you can have turkey sandwiches. That's the thing. You can do a lot with turkey, right? Turkey sandwich, you put a little mayo on top, maybe a piece of lettuce, crispy lettuce. That's good eating. So, and then you're all sick of turkey until Christmas. There you go. That's why a lot of people now for Christmas, they're turning to lasagna or something else. Chinese food. But we'll talk about Christmas then. All right, now listen, before I leave, first of all, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. I give thanks as you do. I give thanks to you for watching me. Sometimes it's like 192 people are out there watching me. Sometimes it's one, literally one. But I thank you for listening and watching me all these years. All these I haven't checked in a long time, but it's like 560 episodes of this crap that you've had to do. But I hope you like the program. I hope it cheers you up, and that's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing it. I don't get paid for this. Who's going to pay me for this? I'm not like the Kelsey brothers who are making like $1 million an episode and have like Taylor Swift on the show. I'm lucky if I can get Coco on the show. He's nowhere around. But anyway, I like doing it, and thank you for watching. And if you get a hankering, and if you're looking for a Christmas present for that special someone in your life, you might want to consider ordering one book. It's called Stronger Than Bone. Now, it's only available in digital mode right now. You could get the PDF version, you could get the Kindle version, but sometime down the road, I don't know when, but sometime there will be an audio book. So you could be in the car listening to, not me, because I'm not narrating it, not with my voice, but you'll hear my words. And or you could maybe grandma can't read anymore, and you put it in, you put the in, she's listening to it. And I'll tell you one thing, this book will put her to sleep more than more, more than NyQuil. It's just gonna, grandma will be there like that. Oh, that's the other thing about turkey. Turkey dinner, you got all that dopamine and stuff. You're gonna be taking naps tomorrow, big time naps in between the football games. But if you want a cheap and expensive present for your loved one, because nothing is too good for her or him, you only want the best. Order my book. You can get it at Amazon, Barnes and Noble, or wherever fine books are sold. And it's a nice gift, especially for someone who is facing some challenges in life and they need a little bit of hope and inspiration in their life. So you send it to grandma. Maybe she's having a hard time walking. You send it to her. You say, Grandma, I paid like $99.99 for this friggin' book, but nothing is too good for you. And in reality, you only paid like $5.89, okay? But grandma's not gonna know. So you give her the book and she's happy. If she can't read it to her. What are you doing? You're not doing anything. Read it to her. She's your grandmother. So anyway, I'm just saying, if you need a little stocking stuffer, you just look no further. I'm here to please. All right, everybody. Well, have a great Thanksgiving. Enjoy the parades, enjoy the football, enjoy the meal, enjoy giving thanks. Just enjoy it. Do you have off Friday? A lot of people do. You'll be out shopping Black Friday, or you'll be behind your computer screen at 3 o'clock in the morning ordering underwear. And have a good time. Have a great weekend. Now it starts. Now it officially starts. We're in the holiday season. Now you can start playing all the Christmas music you refused to play before. Now you can actually go to the mall. Oh, isn't that a revelation? Going to the mall? You go to the mall, you can see the decorations, you go get your Christmas tree, a real one, not one of these phony ones, a real one, you put it up, you put the lights outside and all the decorations. You go do some Christmas shopping every week. You wrap your presents, which is a big deal too, because I can't wrap with a name. And you enjoy. It's the Christmas season, for God's sakes, right? You enjoy it. And it comes once a year, and your Christmas seasons are limited in life. Look at me. This will be like the 69th Christmas season in my freaking life. And I probably only have a couple more to go. So I said, well, I'm going to savor it. So I'm going to savor this Christmas season, right? And that's how we all should do. We all should play it like it's our last Christmas season, because you never. So whatever, just enjoy the weekend. Hey, I might be back on Saturday. I might, or I might be back on Monday. Who knows? Then we'll talk about that Eagles game, the Eagles' victory over the Chicago Bears on Friday. And we'll talk about some other stuff too. Who knows? Okay, everybody. Peace and love. Thanks for watching me. Until next time. Take care. Bye.